What up, Lakers fans? You're watching the Los Angeles Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. With the trade deadline just a couple of weeks away, the trade rumors surrounding the Lakers are heating up, and we're going to break them all down on today's show. We're going to talk about a potential Alec Burks trade. Could the Lakers be interested in that? We're also going to talk about Anthony Davis as he is expected to come back to the lineup. We'll talk about that, what that means for the Lakers and their playoff push in the Western Conference. But first, let's start with a scoring guard that the Lakers may be interested in, and that is Malik Beasley of the Utah Jazz. He is one of the most coveted players on the trade market ahead of the trade deadline. Go back to the summer. Beasley was traded in that Rudy Gobert trade, ended up with the Jazz. I like Beasley as a player. He's a guy that can come off the bench, give you some buckets. I think that's kind of what this Lakers team could benefit from right now. He's offense first, and he's an adequate defender. He's a guy that can get hot from three. He can carry you on offense for certain stretches. This is a guy that's been a guy that's shot over 40% from three multiple times in his career. If you look at his career the past 2 years, Beasley, after the trade from the Nuggets in 2019 and 2020, he was averaging 20 points per game on great numbers from the field, 47% from the field, 43% almost from downtown. Then when he got to the Timberwolves once again in 2020 and 2021, he was the same type of player. 20 points per game, 40% from the field, 44% from the field, and 40% from downtown. He gets up a lot of threes, 8 threes a night. That's something that the Lakers could benefit from. More spacing means more driving lanes for guys like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, more room to operate in that mid-range post area and in the paint. And Russell Westbrook will even have more lanes to get downhill. The regression hit last year, and it has continued a little bit with a guy like Malik Beasley, but I think he's being asked to do less on a team like the Utah Jazz. If you go back to the numbers we showed you now, or a second ago, compared to the numbers we're showing you right now, the numbers have fallen off a little bit, but he's still shooting 37% from three and 36% from three this year. And I think on a team like the Lakers, where you're going to get a lot of open three-pointers, playing with a guy like LeBron James, who's arguably the best half-court passer of all time, you're going to get wide-open looks, and Beasley is the guy that can knock down wide-open looks at an elite clip, averaging 14 points per game this year. Also a decent rebounder for his size, and he can create a little bit off the bounce. This is what Heavy.com had to say about Malik Beasley. They said, as of now, the cost is something in the range of a first-round pick, a young player, and whatever salary is needed. The Jazz, according to a source around the league, have been willing to accept salary that goes beyond this season if they feel they can repackage those players for another first-round pick next year. So what would a trade like that look like for the Los Angeles Lakers? You'd have to give up that 2027 or 2029 first-round pick. It's not going to be unprotected. I'm protecting that pick, probably lottery protected is where I would lean. Patrick Beverley goes back to the Utah Jazz, and you get Malik Beasley. Come off the bench, be a super six man, play alongside your big dogs, and be that catch-and-shoot guy that I think would make this team much better and more of a serious threat in the Western Conference. My thing, though, is I don't think Pelinka is going to do that. How many times have we talked about on this show that Rob Pelinka has been unwilling to give up a first-round pick for a player unless it's for a superstar? We even saw it with the Rui Hachimura trade. The fact that he was able to pull this off and was willing to give up 3 second-round picks shows you that he wants to hold on to that 2027 and 2029 first-round pick for when a star becomes available. The thing is, LeBron almost dropped a 50-point triple-double the other night, and you lost. You don't make the playoffs this year. I could very well see LeBron James forcing a trade in the offseason. That's why if I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm doing everything I can. I'm going to exhaust every single option I can to get LeBron James help. That way he wants to stay a part of this franchise, because the guy, no matter how old he is, in my opinion, is still a top 5 player in the NBA, and he still plays like the best player in the NBA from time to time. Would you trade for Malik Beasley? And remember, this is going to have to include a first-round pick. So it should be, would you trade a first-round pick to the Utah Jazz for Malik Beasley? I want all the Lakers Report real ones in the comment section right now to let me know what they're thinking. Type T for trade, type P for pass. I probably wouldn't include a first-round pick, hoping that I get a better player down the line. But look, if I'm at the trade deadline, I know that's not going to happen. I might have to pull the trigger because I know the window to win with LeBron is shrinking as every day goes by. Sound off in the comment section. We'll get to those other trade rumors coming up in a second. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Fume. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports. Today's Lakers report is sponsored by Fume. We all have bad habits, and we certainly know how hard they can be to kick those bad habits. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. I didn't expect much out of Fume when I got it, but the minty sensation is really powerful and really hits the back of your throat. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors for you to enjoy: maple pepper, crisp mint, and white cranberry. They're awesome. I'm a fan of the crisp mint flavor. I like that minty sensation that you get. They got a flavor for whatever you want. Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports. That's tryfum.com/chatsports and use code chatsports to get 10% off. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. Shout out to Fume. Get started today. The next trade rumor we're going to talk on today's show involves Alec Burks of the Detroit Pistons. If the Lakers strike out on Beasley, they decide they don't want to give up a first-round pick. Could they turn to Burks as a bench scoring option? I really like this idea. Alec Burks is a bucket getter. He was that with the Knicks in the playoffs 2 years ago. He's been great for the Detroit Pistons so far this year, giving you 13.3 points per game on elite efficiency, shooting 45% from the deck and 43.6% from downtown. He's also getting up 4+ three-pointers a night. This is a guy that can come off the bench, kind of control your offense from time to time. He can get buckets. He's not a playmaker. The Knicks asked him to be a starting point guard last year, and that kind of drove down his value, but he's most effective in a role like he would be with the Lakers, where he can come in, get buckets, play off the ball, knock down open threes, and he's a solid perimeter defender. I'm a fan of Alec Burks. I would love for the Lakers to get a guy like him, but you have to remember, sometimes matters how much you're being paid. Right now, he's being paid $10 million. Next year, there would be a player option. So if the Lakers decided that they didn't want to pay him $10.5 million in 2023, they could decline that player option and move on from him and get that salary cap relief. So it's really a win-win. You get a guy for 1 year that can help you win. And then if you don't want him anymore, you decide you don't need him anymore, you can waive him by essentially declining that player option, and you get almost $11 million in cap space added to this team. This is a trade idea that we cooked up in the Chat Sports studios. Alec Burks to the Lakers, Lonnie Walker, Damian Jones, and second-round picks of the Detroit Pistons. Lonnie Walker, I like him. I just don't know if the best fit for him is playing alongside a guy like LeBron James. I think you want to surround LeBron with more three-point shooters. That's what Alec Burks is, shooting 43% from downtown so far this year. I'm a fan of this trade. I would make it. I don't know. But I want you guys to pick one of these guys to make a trade for. Who would it be? Would it be Alec Burks, the trade we just showed? You don't have to trade any picks, but you give up Lonnie Walker, and I guess a second-round pick, maybe 2, or Malik Beasley, a guy that you're going to have to give up a first-round pick for. Let me know which trade you would rather make. Type 1 for Alec Burks, type 2 for Malik Beasley. Sound off in the comment section. And I also want to give a huge shout-out to Laker Nation. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. We greatly appreciate it. We just crossed over 49,000 subs on the channel. Shout out to you guys. We're not stopping there. We want to get to 50,000 subs as soon as possible. Videos every single day on the latest Lakers news and rumors. Trade deadline's right around the corner. We're going to cover it better than anybody else. We put out videos no matter the time of the year. Free agency, trade deadline, draft. We got you covered. Go down right now. Hit that big red button and help us get to 50,000 subs. Can't end today's show without talking about a huge injury update for the Los Angeles Lakers, and that is around Anthony Davis. AD is expected to make his return from injury on Saturday versus the Boston Celtics. Before the injury, Anthony Davis was playing possibly like the MVP of the National Basketball Association, averaging 32 plus, 14 rebounds, 64% from the field, and 33% from downtown. That was the best version of Anthony Davis we had seen as Lakers fans since the bubble, where it could be argued that he was better than LeBron James. AD was playing like a top 5 player. And I really believed at that time with AD and LeBron James, they had a chance to compete in the Western Conference. The Lakers could make a run, though, getting Anthony Davis back and position them in a good spot in the playoff race. They're like 4 games out of the 4 spot right now, and I think they're sitting at the 12 spot or 13 spot in the Western Conference. The Western Conference is so tight. It's so together. A couple of wins, a winning streak, and a losing streak for the other team, you can catapult yourself right up to the top of the West. And I think with the Rui Hachimura trade, I'm not saying that the Lakers got an all-star in Rui, but they definitely got a good rotational piece that's going to make this team better. And he kind of brings you what you didn't have, a bigger wing that can run in the open court and knock down some open threes and get downhill. I like this team now with Rui. I think they're still a trade away. I'd like for another shooter to be on the bench, open up the court a little bit more for LeBron and Anthony Davis. But I think the Lakers are trending in the right direction, and I can't wait to see them out there with a healthy lineup of Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Rui Hachimura. We'll end the show with this question. Will the Lakers make the playoffs? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back with a video tomorrow. Let's go, Lakers.